And I say, okay, if you like, I appoint you my advisor.
He'd love it.
Yeah. Because we have known each other for about over a year now, through Twitter, but we haven't seen each other.
Isn't it nice to be able to see each
Twitter,
other?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Of course. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're
It's
right.
a beautiful thing. And guess what? We are going live. I'm going to mute everyone, but then I'll unmute you.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Hello, friends. All right, everyone's filing in.
All right, my friend there, Danny Wang there.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Nice to
Danny.
meet you the first time.
Okay.
All right, I am going to go down the list here, friends, and just do the mute. I'm going to mute police everyone before we even. Jack, go ahead and take the time and wave to all your friends as I make the awkward scroll.
Okay,
Jack, how you doing, mate?
Richard there. Okay.
Of course.
Philately things. We are finally, I know who you are. Thank you, Michael. Okay, Lord. Okay, Scott, Sharon, Colin, Tom. Hopefully I have already. Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, well, Jin Wang. Okay, Jin Wang. All right. Hi.
Yeah, Jack is such a genteel man. I love that. You always want to wave and say hello. Thank you.
Hi. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Well, welcome everybody. Happy Friday. Remember, that's the day of the week. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Stamp Chat. It's wonderful to see you. Some of you, I saw you not too many hours ago on our fabulous beer revenue talk hosted by Tom last night. Good to see you joining us. Let's see, today we have Mr. Jack Zhang. He's joining us from London. Jack and I met on Twitter. He's got such a great presence there. Really demonstrated to me a passion. Last week we were on the phone. We had a nice video conference chat with some folks from around the globe. And Jack did us a favor by showing us his Philately Museum. And it was very impressive. And I asked Jack if he would do us the pleasure of taking us on a virtual tour, taking us on a much needed field trip, if you will, to his fantastic building, his virtual building known as the Philately Museum. So Jack Zhang, I'd love for you to give our friends a little bit of a bio of yourself, other than I know that you're a very passionate man, but you're also a scholar, a writer, an author. And without any further ado, friends, welcome to Stamp Chat. Thanks to our members for making this possible. We're going to hand it over to Jack.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today. And it is my great pleasure and honor to be invited by Heidi and American Philatelic Society to do this talk. And first, let me share the screen, okay? All right, and that's the, okay, how can I do the, where's the button of the, I cannot see the, I cannot see the 100%.
Heidi, I'll guide him here if I may.
Thank you.
Jack.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, mate?
That's
I can,
right,
yeah.
Please do exactly as I tell you.
Yeah.
At the top, it says slideshow. Can you see that? Slideshow. Look for the word slideshow. Come on, at the top on the, no, up higher. Come on.
Higher, where?
Yeah.
I'm putting my cursor around it. Can you see that? Or is that
slideshow. No, can you not see slideshow, Jack? Come on, it's on the menu. You've got home, insert, transitions, animation, slideshow. Can you? No, Jack. Higher up. Higher up, Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, please.
Just press F5 key.
F5 key is also a shortcut. Try that, Jack.
Yeah. Where's the, okay, I stop first, okay, and then I try again, all right?
But Jack, do as I say, mate. Find where it says
hold
slide.
Hold on a minute, I will try to do it.
Thanks, Mark Bailey.
No worries, Heidi.
Don't worry. And I will try to, I think.
Well, poor Jack has also been dealing, I don't know if it's a London thing, friends or what, but he had no bandwidth.
Where's the, to be honest, I just showed Heidi. It's okay, you know. Okay. All right. I'm not. Okay. I think. To be honest, you can.
When you're ready, Jack, you can share it with us.
Yeah.
Share screen.
Yeah, he will.
Okay. It's all right.
That's perfect, Jack. That is perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Finally, thank you very much. Sorry for this. Okay, because I'm not a professional. Luckily today I got a professional here, you know, and Mark Bailey is our chairman of IT in the Royal. Thank you very much for your help. And okay, and today's topic, it is get to know Philately Museum resources and online museums. Of course, this is the title. Heidi, help me. Thank you very much, Heidi.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Okay, today I would like to talk about first how the philatelymuseum.com was born, and the second, the museum's current situation and the final goal. Third, any suggestions are welcome. And fourth, last, and of course, discussions. So, how the philatelymuseum.com was born. So that's the story. Just about 2 months ago, and Miss Margaret from Taipei came here in London, and gave a lecture and about old postcards in Ming Ai London Institute. And Dean Lee of the Institute asked me to chair the lecture. And Margaret is the founder of a hairpin, you know, the hairpin, the decorations, yeah? For the ladies, yeah, very nice hairpins, you know, and so the postcards all talk about, you know, all different hair decorations, hairpins. So she is the founder of the hairpin, which is a cyber museum. So the lecture and her museum inspired me to create a cyber museum for myself about stamp or philately. So after researching for available stamp domains, I luckily came across the name Philately Museum, which prompted my immediate registration with an American company called Network Solutions. And then I tried to use their DIY website builder to design my own cyber philately museum. Just like what I said, you know, I'm not you know, professional about this kind of thing. So I try to use their DIY website builder to design mine. So on 16th February, just about 10 days after the above mentioned lecture, the Philately Museum was born with a bespoke logo designed by myself. And that's the logo. What do you think? Hopefully you'll enjoy it, a very simple one. And the museum's current situation and the final goal. Since 16th February, I spent a few days, you know, after that day, I spent a few days to design this cyber philately museum. And now, of course, continuously added something to it. For the last several days, because for this lecture, for this talk, so I have kept working on it by adding and perfecting the content. And of course, I will show you later, you know, how it looks like. Philately Museum is a cyber museum, or maybe sometimes people call it maybe online museum, or maybe even we use some word like a virtual museum, displaying the different stamp collections from all over the world, providing the information on stamp exhibitions, stamp fairs, auctions, stamp issuing news, philatelic events, organizations, societies, and so on. And our vision is to try to provide information on all you need to know over philately online. This site will help to reach more audience and promote philately. PM Philately Museum would like to establish good relationship with other postal museums and share the information with each other. Of course, on the condition if they like, because they're big ones, And the ambition is to reach this target in the future. Although the vision feels ambitious, hard work, dedication, and perseverance will hopefully pay off. That's my final goal. Hopefully it's okay. And of course, any suggestions, sponsors, and corporations are always welcome, warmly welcome. So next, let me show you about my Philately Museum website and give you a tour. Yeah, hopefully it's okay. All right. And that's a little bit, move a little bit. Okay. Can you see it? Yeah.
Not yet, hon. We're still on the PowerPoint.
Oh, you cannot see. You cannot see my website.
Not yet, Jack, because you're still showing us your PowerPoint slides.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
All right, but on my screen it is.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
I understand all that, but just stick with me, my friend. How you change it is you stop sharing your screen, you then share your screen. Listen, please. You then share your screen again, but when you share it the second time, you choose to show us the website.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Go with it. Go with it. Stop sharing and then reshare.
First, okay.
And then reshare.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Hi, Heidi.
It's Team APS Stamp Chat. Way to go. Oh.
No. Yeah, Jack, you're still showing us the slideshow.
I know. It's open now. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Luckily, we got a professional here. And okay, hold on a minute. I know how to do now, and I try to.
You'll get there.
It's just like a regular stamp club meeting, right? There's always the tech issues.
Yeah, hold on a minute, and we'll try to open another one.
Thank
you. Okay.
Hi, Charlene. Hi, Penny. Hi, Rick. Hi, Kapil. Hi, Tom. Hi, Michael. Hi, Danny Wong. Richard Sinclair. Mr. Nutter, Jane Wang. Hi, Stuart. Haven't seen you. Peter Little, welcome. David Sachs, nice stamp. Gary Lowe is undercover.
All right.
Jack, how you getting on?
The bougainvillea behind you. That's beautiful.
Can you see it this time?
We're there,
yes,
friends.
Yes, we can. Yes, thanks, Jack.
Finally.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. But I'm sorry to say, to be honest, today, this is my last night's version. I got another version this morning, and this morning I tried it almost today. I tried the whole day to upload this new version here, and it looks a little bit better than this. You can see here, Philately Museum, there is a half. I don't know why, And also you can see here about us, something should be inside, but the new version I got, but you can imagine I cannot upload and spend the whole day. So that's my home page. And
so we're seeing it as it happens, ladies and gentlemen. This is how he's developing it. Isn't that brilliant?
Oh, don't worry. Okay, it's an amateur one. Okay, I'm not professional. You are professional. Okay, don't judge it. From your professional view. Okay. Okay, that's that's the That's the homepage. That's the top story. Okay, the Queen Victoria opened the Royal's new headquarters in London in November last year.
Or even Queen
And
Elizabeth.
that's our FIP Vice President and FIAP President Prekop. And this is today's news, okay? Because early this morning, he became my advisor to the philately, okay? And that's the, okay, I put the notice, okay, that's for the 12th, for the last Zoom meeting presentation I gave to our Indian friends, of course, including other countries, a total about 118, including Mark Bailey, my friend there. And also here you can see today's meeting. And I put some message from FIP board about the coronavirus. Of course, a lot of exhibitions and meetings, were postponed to next year or maybe the year after, something. And of course, the London 2020 newsletter. So that's our current advisors. Patrick, our immediate past president from the Royal, that's Richard here, and that's Gary here. Thank you very much for all our advisors. And of course, I must hire Mark Bailey too, because he is IT, I need some professional. And I should put, Danny Wang here. To be honest, I spent the whole day to try to upload and nothing happened. I'm sorry. So I put some useful websites here. So there's Royal, there's FIP, there's China's. Of course, that's American. That's yours. And okay.
Thank you, Jack. Like that stampstore.org. Thank you.
Yeah, that's and then of course there are some that's Gringham's. That's Gringham's. Yeah, he gave me permission to add. He has done a great job, and everybody in the philately world likes. And then, of course, and also I put some, I have to move up. And then I put some, the Facebook, the news, all right? So you can follow me in all the news. And then we got to go back. It's a little bit slow, yeah. The sound is okay, Heidi. And of course, the media, yeah, and also the Chinese, the top news, and also the Chinese, we call it Weibo, like Twitter or Facebook in China. Because some in China they cannot watch, they cannot read Facebook and Twitter. That's why I have to put something, in Chinese. So that's a homepage. Let me show you to my next page is about us. So that's my vision, and I discussed that already earlier. That's my photograph. Of course, I changed, but I tried to upload today. I cannot do it. And that's our advisors. Patrick Marcellis, RDP, our past president, and Richard Scott Morrow is there. And Mr. Gary Lowe is there. Thank you very much. And I tried to put Danny Wang here, but I'm sorry, Danny, I tried, the whole day, I cannot move you there. I'm sorry, you're too heavy, maybe. Oh, thank you. Okay. And like to, okay, that's the next page, okay, the news and the information page. So in this page, I try to put as much information as I can. For example, you know, the organizations. So we got UK, ABPS, and we got American, yours, and okay, and we got China's. That's China. Okay, sorry, maybe most of you cannot read. Hopefully, I suggest them, you know, to put some English there. And there are European Federation. That's Asian Federation. Okay, that's FIAP. And also that's you know, Inter-America, Australia, and Denmark. Okay, Israel and Polish. Yeah, I will try to put more, you know, later, because now I just you know, give you a rough idea what I want to put here. So that's the organizations.
So what's great about this is that it's a one-stop shop. So you can go to Philately Museum, and you know, if you're looking for international societies, there's everything right there.
Yeah, that's why, you know, to be honest, I try to put some words on my first page. My older version is I put the words like everything you need about Philately online. But I think maybe it's too big, too big vision, you know, so I deleted, maybe later, okay. And also there are some societies, you know, there's of course from UK ABPS website, you can see Belgium, British, you know, Canadian, and oh, you know, many, you know, here, GB Overprint Society, and yeah, you can find almost you know, all the information here. There is websites, there are dealers, there is exhibitions. You can of course this, you know, I have to change, you know, because we can say most of them already postponed, right? That's
right.
From FIP and also from other, and there are some auctions and there are some links, and okay, the downloads. There is a GBPS, you know, the Great Britain Philatelic Society, and I'm the member of there. So these are free. You can download, you know, a lot of information there, and even the books you can download. Very good site. So you can use this. And also, if you like to, you know, for the competition, you can read the regulations and guidelines from the FIP website. Okay, so you can see qualifying for 8 frames, commissions, expert group, almost you know, everything you need for the, you know, for literature, for the postal history, for the postal stationery, revenues. You can see, you can click, and then you can download them. Okay, so I have to go back. And hold on a minute, it's a little bit why I cannot go back.
We got lost in the museum.
Oh yeah, that's
we got
right.
Lost.
Yeah, okay, I try to go back, you know, try to go back here.
I'm just trying to find the cafe here, Jack. The cafe.
So that's FIP jurors. If you want to know them, you know, all the names here. So you have to download. Oh, I don't know. Should can open it. I don't know why today, you know, they cannot open. And also, if you got news, you can click my, you know, that's Philately Museum's news. And we got very good news today. Just discovered Richard Scott, my advisor, has been awarded toppling medal today. Oh, 2020, many congratulations, Richard.
What a great place to make the announcement, Jack.
Yeah, that's a very good. Yeah, that's a very good. You know,
Thank you.
Yay! I think we can all.
Oh, many congratulations! You know, I just found it. You know, from my website.
The Tackling Medal 2020.
Yeah, and very good. You know, and also my friend Danny Wang there, and he is also he won this medal too. You know, he is the first Chinese philatelist to win this medal. This a very famous one.
Which year was that?
Okay, what's wrong?
Congrats to that person too.
Always, okay,
Jack.
that's FIP members. You can see they're all FIP members, and I will try to maybe put more buttons here about you know, the news, everything. That's European Federation's news, and of course, and that's the Royals news, events, meetings, and also that's American news.
I was going to say, I recognize that.
Yeah, that's American news. Okay. And then
we have from CJ, I think, you know, she's nailing it. It looks like you're building a great hub, Jack, to connect the many different stamp societies and direct people to the information they have. So that's your mission, is it not?
Yeah.
Very clear.
Okay, and all right, and then there's you know, I put some current news about Philately Museum, you know, and that's you know, the Philomena 2020 organized by Philamart India and supported by the Royal Philatelic Society London. And I gave a lecture last Sunday, and some big names. I think maybe, I don't know, Mark and here, and he gave a lecture, and also that's news about me, and also that's from FIP board about the current situation about the exhibitions, etc. And that's the news about the germs of Asia. I think maybe, you know, that's the maybe that's the last you know, we can say stamp exhibition in the UK before or during coronavirus period. That's the last one, 29th of February, and we got very nice, you know, even from USA, you know, we got some big names, you know, they attend this exhibition. And also that's the news about Zhang gave a talk about Roland Hill's uniform penny post on 15th February 2020. And this is a very famous, you know, place because it is called Bruce Castle Museum. And Roland Hill, who worked here, and that's Bruce Castle Museum, you know, is was, their family run business school, you know, private school. So Roland Hill, he was the headmaster there and worked there for a few years. And then from there, he left in 1833. And then he gave the, you know, the headmaster job to his younger brother, Arthur Hill. And then he started his, you know, postal reform. Of course, first, you know, he joined another, you know, organization first. And then in 1837, he published his great famous pamphlet, Post Office Reform. And then, you know, of course, tried to design the world's first postage stamp, penny black. So that's the Queen's visit. Okay, and you can click here and then take you to visit the Queen's visit to the Royal. Okay, that's the mayor, that's the Guildhall mayor, you know, City of London mayor.
Right.
And then you can see our President Richard here.
Not yet.
And And that's his wife here. Okay, and that's our first president, vice president, Peter, and Robert, and that's Patrick, my advisor. Okay, I don't show you too much, otherwise, you know, the time is.
What else you're spoiling the show? Yeah, we need. You need to give us a little
Mark
teaser.
there, but I try to stop. Mark Bailey. Okay, and that's about Stockholm year 2019 in May. And also we got the 4 famous philatelists signed RDP.
Well, how about you take us back to the menu, Jack? Yeah, and up at the top where the buttons are, because really that's how we can navigate through
here.
Through your
through that's the right, museum. The various parts.
Friends, is anybody, you know, okay, so we've got Mark.
So,
did I interrupt you?
Yeah, no, it's okay. Maybe we can put something here, you know, what you want to put here, you know, and then that's what I want to know.
Yeah, I think that's very good, Jack, because at that place, as Heidi's saying, that's where from that position, you can then navigate to all the various sections that you've got here, the various pages and so on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good starting point.
Okay,
and
thank you.
I see from, I see from Rick Howell. Now, you know, say we're coming in, where would a beginner philatelist go? Which button would we, you know, would you suggest for a beginner?
You mean, all right. I think, to be honest, you know, that's why, that's the main aim, you know, we have this discussion, right? And then maybe I just show you the whole website first, and then we have a discussion, all right? It's okay, Heidi?
Well, I'm gonna put that up to our audience right now because we're at the half-hour mark. I think that we might be able to open it up to questions. If not, I'm a consensus gal, a democratic person, so I'm gonna read the room.
Okay.
If you guys want to give me facial expressions or speak up or write in the chat box and let me know. Do we want to continue to go? Does anybody have, Mark, you want to?
Well, all I would say is with regard to this point that's being raised about beginning philatelists, pretty obviously beginning philatelists, I guess, if they find it useful if they know what fairs are on, for example, because then of course they know perhaps where they can go along and indeed find material to add to their collections. So that's an obvious port of call, is the fairs section. Exhibitions obviously are a very good way of beginning philatelists learning more about philately by having a look at the exhibitions that are on and you know, seeing the way that other philatelists have put together their exhibits. So those are some of the ways I think, Rick, that this would help you as a beginning philatelist.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And also, this is just, you know, some news and information on this page. And of course, you know, you can see, if you like, you know, maybe some people hasn't seen the RDP's signing ceremony, right? So you can click here and there is a video and take you to see it, watch, you know, that RDP's ceremony. You know, we got we got American, you know, gentleman, he is RDP, and we
Stephen
got
Schumann.
Yeah, and also we got Cheryl Against, yeah, and she's here. Oh, too small, I think. You cannot see it. I try to make this part large, you know, today and try to upload, but I cannot do it today. So
we have a question here, or somebody's making a comment. Thank you, Jean. It might be useful to have a section with basics of philately as an introduction to the hobby.
That's a good idea. And I can show you. Okay, I go back and then I go back to the, okay, hold on a minute. I go back here.
All right.
And then.
And not so quick. Some of us are starting to feel a little seasick here.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
Where are we going, Jack? Are we going?
Yeah.
Oh, can you see? I go back into the home page and then I just say useful websites. Okay. And just want to answer that question. If you click here, Stamp Active. Okay. That's for all kids. That's
I love this one.
Yes, that is for children. That is for youth. Yes.
Yeah, that's maybe you can do something here because this website and it's also our council member was the chairman of this Stamp Active. He's John Davis, right? Mark Bailey.
That's correct. Yeah. Yes.
And also he is the chairman, the president of GBPS. And so this is for the, I think this is, you can get everything here for the beginners.
Right. And now I would be remiss if I miss this opportunity. You take a pen and you make sure that you link to Classroom C3A.
Yeah, and maybe
on the APS website.
I do in this way. I just put here in the, where's the chat? Cannot find the chat.
Because just so our friends know, if you are
anyway,
this you can go to the APS website.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
this website is
so you got a similar thing in America, yeah.
But you know, it's right, because you're a portal. You know, make sure that you include the APS. That's another great place. You know, I'm always saying the kids are great, but some people don't want to go to a kid's website and they're a beginner, an adult.
Yeah, because that's too early. That's too basic. Yeah.
All right. Sense. Okay. Anyway,
we're too colorful.
I go
indeed
back
very colorful. Yeah, very bright.
Okay, I go back first, and then from the information, and then we go to collections. So that's something maybe people like to watch. There is the Royals collection. That's the Queen's collection, Her Majesty the Queen, and you can see that's from National Postal Museum. That's
great. It's great that you're pulling from so many different sources, and Gary Lowe is telling you that your download section has many great resources for a beginner collector.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So you can see, from the postal reform, you can click here, and about postal reform and Rowland Hill, and that's the 1839 treasury competition. That's the designed, and sent by Rowland Hill to the Francis Baring, the Chancellor of the Exchequer during that time, who was in charge of this treasury, and of course he is also the boss of the post office. We cannot say post office, so he's the boss, but the treasury definitely controlled them, I think, and that's the So that's the Queen's. You can click here, and you can see, because not many people have seen the Queen's collection, maybe personal, face to face. But I'm lucky enough, I have visited the Queen's collection, in the St. James Palace. I entered there, invited by Michael Saifi, the former keeper of the royal collection, and went there twice during my writing the book, my Penny Black book. That's my friend, a smartphone philately. He has got a lot of information there, but the problem is, he told me today. Sorry.
It's all in Chinese.
Oh yeah, that's right, in Chinese. Yeah. But his website, already won a lot of the mail in Stockholm here.
Fantastic.
You know what, Jack? Because the time flies on these chats.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of questions, and we've got some commentary building in the chat box. So what I'd love for you to do is stop sharing your screen.
All right. Okay.
Okay, and then we just have your mug. We have your face, and we can.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
You're looking good.
We go directly to the next page.
Hopefully
Okay.
Now, Jack,
And, yeah.
Jack, just
Sorry?
please stop sharing the screen for now, because people want to ask you questions.
I think I'll finish first. Okay. Otherwise, you know, I stop here. So that's the, you know, that's the page, philately knowledge. Okay. Videos. That's Greenham back. And that's, you know, that's a royal collection by microscopy. That's articles. That's from Gary. That's Gary's, you know, articles. All the articles, not all. I haven't uploaded them, you know, and just some of them. And that's what I want. You know, maybe I will put more. That's an article by Patrick. Some other information. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one. And
Yeah,
then
because that gives lots of knowledge. Yeah, that's really good.
And I want to show you this. That's what I want to do. You know, to be honest, eventually, that's what I want to do. We call it.
Right, here we go. Here's the coup de grace. Yes.
That's the virtual. We call it virtual museum. That's what I want. You see? And also you can see that's a start.
This is where Jack wants to take us all.
I want to show you, because eventually I want to do a 3D like this. I put maybe I ask maybe professional to do this. Of course I cannot do it. And then you can go there. Okay, you can see maybe this wall I put maybe American stamps. If you click here, and if you click here, you can go in, and then you can find everything about American stamps. And then if you go there, this room, and maybe you can find the GB, something like this. Okay. And that's just to give you an idea. That's what I want to do for my website, maybe for one page or something. Okay. Okay. And go back.
Oh, Jack, there's a great movie over here. Yeah, you know, Field of Dreams, and it's
maybe they
can build it, they will come.
That's right. I was going to say, if you build it, they will come.
You've just presented your vision board to us all, so that's marvelous. That's marvelous.
All right, and okay, I think maybe that's almost contact later. You know, the blog. Maybe you know we will do it later. That's contact. Okay, and. That's almost, I think, showed you everything, and I stop sharing and go back. All right?
Yes.
Very
what
good.
Time? I haven't seen my. Okay.
Fantastic. Now we're all ready to go to the store and the cafe and sit and talk and ask questions. And
but virtual coffee
a lot of
doesn't
great
taste very good.
feedback.
Virtual, what do you think, Mark? The virtual museum. Can you do something for that?
I can't, but all I would say is virtual coffee doesn't taste very good.
Virtual, okay. Virtual coffee, okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, so let's all right. I'm going to start. Okay, Richard Scott, and go ahead, Richard. Taplin Award winner.
Yes, well, so there's a few things that come to. I mean, I think this is really important work. That Jack's agreed to come and talk. With regards to the comments about stuff for beginners, the whole point of Jack's project here is it's a portal, so it's about community-led content, and that, you know, for this to really work, you know, it's such a vast, ambitious project, that there's going to be many practical and financial hurdles to make it work. But one of the keys here is going to be about communities engaging with this, putting their material to Jack. You know, if you spot there are gaps, then, you know, identify those gaps, bring them to Jack's attention. But also, failing that, if there isn't anything, how about maybe thinking about developing that content that then Jack could upload? I think it would be very useful as well if institutions get behind this. not you know, financial if possible, but not necessarily financial. It could just be a matter, but for this to really work, it's going to have to be something that the international community is going to have to engage with. And I think that the current pandemic has shown a need for this kind of infrastructure to be in place. And Jack, this was under the radar, mate. It's fantastic. Well done.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much.
And I would be remiss if, pardon me, I would be remiss if I didn't give proper kudos to Charlene Blair, who's also on the call, who has a virtual museum, the African Americans on stamps. So
that's good. That's good.
Oh,
I think
yes.
maybe
Very good.
Maybe you can ask her to send me a link or something, and then I could put you know, in my website.
Absolutely, we can make that happen. I'm gonna keep moving, and Mark's the co-host now too.
Oh, that's good.
Mark Bailey, because we got a lot to cover here in the chat box. CJ, thanks for waiting so patiently. CJ from Philately Things, she'd like to know what some of the future plans are. I think we've seen that with the 3D. What are you looking to focus on, including news, exhibits, videos, more links, original articles? Are you hoping to gain sponsorships from dealers?
Yeah, that's very important for me, I think. Thank you. Yeah.
It's fair to say that Jack would be delighted to have some sponsorship.
Oh yeah, of course, you know, and then I can hire Mark Bailey, you know, as my, you know, technique.
Yeah, because I'm very
It's like
expensive.
watching a tennis game between the two of you.
Yeah, we love it.
Sorry,
Come on, we're friends.
I know, it's obvious. It's great.
Thank you. Yeah. To be honest, today's talk and my, of course, I think, you know, the main aim, we can say, is you know, to just give you a rough idea about what I want to do. And as you know, to be honest, I'm a even amateur, you know, I can call it myself, you know, and we need you know, later maybe I will need a professional, you know, to do something.
Well, your humility is you know, has its beauty, but come on. You're doing a great job, and you know, take the bull by the horns here, buddy. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
We got a lot of good energy. Moving. And
Heidi,
Kapil, I appreciate your hands up.
Yeah, Heidi, can we have Kapil? Yeah, Kapil, talk to us, man.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Kapil. Nice to meet you here.
Nice to see you all again.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
In APS Stamp Show.
Thank you very much.
I have one question. If you can add the philatelic websites, you know, the philatelic websites of different countries, because, you know, for amateur philatelists, they were discussing about the new philatelists, amateur philatelists. They have great difficulties in finding the new issues of stamps. So if you could add the link of all the postal websites, you know, where people can actually go and buy the new releases and have a traces. So already you have FIP links and you have other museum links and all that stuff. But the basics is missing, I suppose. So it would be very nice, and it would be also very helpful for me as well.
Okay, I understand what you mean. Maybe I think maybe I will put another link.
But it's a nice thought of having a philatelic museum, because it's very difficult for all of us to find different things, go Google out and stuff. So since you have a philatelic museum, we just need to visit you and then find what
Jack,
a good thing. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Jack.
Jack, one of the places that takes care of new issues from across multiple countries and multiple, stamp issuers.
Yeah.
They're called WOPA.com. WOPA. Okay. WOPA.
Okay. Can you send me email later, Mark?
Sure.
About it? Okay.
Sure.
And maybe I think later I can put another button called maybe post office for, you know, each country. And then maybe
do that.
And then give a link, you know, in the one page, you can find the China post office, and you can GB, you can American, you can get maybe, and then all the issues should be there, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
very
like that.
important to
And Gary
include
Lowe would like a wine
Okay,
bar.
thank you very much.
a
That
wine
was
bar
one
as
more
well, right? Okay.
I'd like a wine bar. We thank you so much for
Okay.
reading, Miss Jean Wang. We have, or Wong, excuse me for the mispronunciation, on the stamp bulletin board I participate in. There are a lot of people who post questions because they have inherited a collection but don't know anything about the hobby. Might be a good opportunity to gain new collectors. This is the audience that might benefit from an introductory section. Of course, we can always bring them over to the EAPS, but if their search didn't drive them over to the APS, yes, certainly a place for intros, but why reinvent the wheel? All you have to do is say intro or you inherited APS, bam. What else? Who else? Gift shop was browsed over. Thank you, Mr. Pichatelli. Mark, am I missing any questions?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me just scroll back.
Okay. Oh, gift shop. Okay, maybe I can put the gift shop there.
Yeah,
well,
actually,
it seems like there's a lot of interest in going virtually. We were speaking with Graham Beck earlier today. Richard Morrow was on the phone too. And, you know, he was kind of throwing down the gauntlet for people to step, you know, start putting their work online. Richard, help me out with some of my articulation has gone. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
I mean, one of Graham's frustrations, we've had a few conversations. I mean, he does exploring stamps on YouTube, fantastic site. But one of his frustrations is he's been doing it for a number of years in the hope that other people would emulate him and put online content. But often he's finding that people are reluctant to do so. But he was also talking about, we were also talking about other, you know, from a museum perspective for years, and I think it's been a fundamental mistake. I mean, we can't do it for everything, but we've always tried to develop in-house structures to get the audience to come to us. One of the things I've learned from this pandemic is we're going about it the wrong way. We should be going to the audiences, not the other way round, and using these network platforms. And of course, you know, there's a whole range of things now. You know, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and starting to think innovatively about how we use things. One of the things that we would also we discussed is that there are some things that will work in a physical format, i.e. a traditional 5 o'clock at the Royal or you know, in your club, that won't work as well online. But definitely the future should be digital, and we're also discussing the idea perhaps of a social media award that could be used to encourage people to go and use social media more. How you'd set about that? You could have a chat with a governing body, with some of the magazines, and that you know, there's an actual philatelic prize to encourage people to develop websites, blogs, Twitter accounts, to bring it together. But Jack, with this one, like I say, it's really great that this portal's fundamental, and it's saying that you're not seizing or taking anyone's work or centralized. You're pointing people all over the place, and that will make it such an important research hub. Yeah.
Heidi, I think Tom Bowman would like to ask a question.
Thanks, Mark. I'll let you drive. There
Yeah,
you go.
I unmuted myself there. Thank you. Richard and Jack and everybody. One of the things that I've been trying to do for a while is get clubs to intermingle with one another. And it seems like for some reason, as are some collectors, as we know, we're quite private in what we collect and or what we discuss in our club. Now, some of our clubs have started putting out newsletters amongst one another, which I think is great, but we still have a lot of pushback. And that's something this forum is starting to break down, because I don't see Bobby Hathaway on here today, but his club, he's trying to get his people to roll into this as well. I mean, I've had 2 members of my club join us, even though I put out blurbs every week that's coming up. So this is, Jack, what you're doing is a very fundamental tool, which I appreciate, and I think everybody else does too.
Yeah, here. Well, if I can comment on that, Tom, what you're saying about not only about Jack's website, of course, and you're absolutely right, we said, but also the ability to use Zoom. Jack alluded to a series of webinars that were held on philatelic matters in the last week to 10 days. Okay, he showed us some of the information about those, and let me tell you, it started off mainly being people in India, but it grew very quickly to be completely across the planet. We had people from the US, we had people in India, we had people from Europe, and pretty obviously, you know, there was a great example where people from so many different philatelic societies were all coming together. And I appreciate in the States, obviously, it's a big place, the States, is a whole continent of states. There are many different philatelic societies, many different organizations, but this type of medium helps bring those people together.
You know, I think we're all silver lining people. I always say, look, you see the crow's feet? That's because I'm always looking for the silver lining. So we're the silver lining people. It's our time. We have a question from Peter Little. Go ahead and unmute yourself, hon. Thank you.
I don't know if you can hear me, but first of all, Jack, this is absolutely superb and what is needed. As a newcomer to the hobby, this is brilliant. That's all I can say.
Mr. Little, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
As a second, and this is something that me and Richard have been discussing in the background here, direction always comes from the top.
Yeah.
So no matter what business, what hobby, what sport, and I'm an ex-professional sports person, your direction comes from the top. So you're doing something that the top should do, and that direction should work its way down. But anyway, that's a different argument. I just want to say, well done, Jack. Great work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And to that, I do have to say that this is on the APS platform fully. You know, I only joined into the APS. I had the honor of becoming employed in January, but Executive Director Scott English, who's always on the call, our Chief Content Officer Thomas Lohig, who's always on the call. You know, this has been at the forefront. So, you know, leadership right here on this call every day. So
exactly. And the point I'm trying to make is I've come to the APS because I couldn't find this elsewhere. And I'm in the UK, the founder home, the glory home of the world. But I found this at the APS. So I've come to the APS.
Thank you. And we're all working together. You know, the Royals, you know,
absolutely.
It's the great equalizer, this pandemic, and it's really uniting and linking, and people we're talking all over the world every day, each one of us. So it's a quantum leap. It's a quantum leap for philately. Let me just look. Thank you for joining us, and thank you. We're getting a lot of applause. I don't need to tell about it on here. It's 3:58. We've burned through another APS stamp chat. I need to take these 2 minutes, please. Bear with me. Jack Zhang, I want to thank you so much for your time, and for our friends across the globe for joining us, and particularly to APS members. Thanks, Charlene, for reminding me that you too, you're championing the virtual museums. Friends, we are moving platforms to GoToMeeting. It is not a difficult platform to navigate whatsoever. It is it's very similar to Zoom, but I do need to ask that you go ahead and get your computers or your mobile devices ready for that switch. As I've said on different stamp chats, if the kitty can do it, you can do it. I've alluded that it's a very robust platform, and as we'll be moving our 40-year tradition of summer seminar, 2 of the virtual realm. We really need something with a lot of meat and a lot of heft, and we found that GoToMeeting can handle that all. So I know as archivists and brainiacs, you guys can appreciate being able to house data. So anyway, do that. Please download, get ready for the GoTo. Monday, we have Gary Lowe joining us. He'll be talking about a jubilee of some sort. Gary's not going to, what's that?
Hello, Gary.
They're going to be doing the Silver Jubilees of the Caribbean. That's the King George V, 1935 Silver Jubilee issue.
Yeah.
An introduction to that, and then we'll focus on some of the issues coming out of the Caribbean. So it'll be a fun romp through 1935 philately.
Have your Cuba Libres, your daiquiris sitting beside you. Yes, your tropical fruit drinks. Your mojitos. Pandora, the kitty, our stamp kitty. She should be our, we need to have a little animal. So yeah, I nominate Pandora. Anyway, friends, go ahead and say goodbye to each other. We've gone through another fabulous hour. Thank you so much. If you're not a member of the APS, what are you waiting for? Go to APS, go to stamps.org, and for $45 or $49, you too can be part of 134 year legacy. So thanks again, Jack, Zhang, and to all our friends who joined.
Bye, everyone. Cheers, Jack.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations again,
Jack. Take care, buddy. We'll see y'all.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you
Charlene.
for joining me.
Good to see you.
All right.
Bye, Penny.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, friends.
Bye. Bye.
See you Monday.
See you next time.
Bye, Tom. Hail, Turner. Okay.
Jack, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark Bailey. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I cannot
welcome.
upload your face, Danny. All right.
All
Anyway,
right, here we go.
I tried the whole day, today. I don't know why. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.